Hello there. I'm Leslie from elizabethburton.com, and I want to ask you today, do you feel like every decision you're making at the moment is exhausting? Even the small ones. If you keep going back and forth, second guessing yourself, asking other people, making lists, remaking lists, sound familiar? Then this video today is just for you because decision fatigue is actually real. Yeah, it is real. And when you're in it, it's not that you're not, or it's not that you're incapable, let me put it that way. It's not that you're incapable, it's just that your system is just so overloaded that it makes life, there's just nothing else you can do. So today I'm going to share a nice grounded way to make some decisions. Um, Even when you fully don't fully trust yourself without forcing certainty or it spiraling in your head like, oh, have I done the right thing? Or what is it? Oh, yeah. So I'm going to give you some ideas of some things that you can do today. Decision fatigue is what happens when your brain and nervous system have had to make too many calls for too long. Okay, I've had to make too many decisions for too long, too many things, especially if you've been trying to make them when you've been under stress. So even the simple choices start to feel really, really heavy to you. It's like, oh, just why? And it's because your system is already running. It's running on overload already. Yeah, so you just want to like every little simple thing that should just be a snap decision is like, oh, I don't know, what should I do? What should we have for tea? Oh, I don't know. I can't make the decision. And when you're tired, anxious, overwhelmed, or emotionally stretched, your mind often tries to find the absolute perfect answer so that it can feel really safe. Yeah, because it's like, I don't need something else to go wrong right now. Yeah, does that sound familiar? So we've got to make the right decision about this. And that's when you get stuck. So the goal isn't to make the perfect decision. The goal is to make a safe enough decision that you can live with and then support your nervous system to follow it through. Okay, so you might be in this then if maybe you procrastinate on the decisions you used to make really, really easily. Yeah, they used to be really simple, easy, quick decisions, and now you just procrastinate on them. It's like, oh, I'll decide that later. You keep researching things and you still don't feel clear about what's the next step, what's the way forward from here. You ask lots of people, but then you feel even more confused afterwards. Yeah. Um, you feel really anxious about deciding, even if you know it's a good choice that you're going to make, you know it's a good choice, but you feel really anxious about actually making the decision. You avoid deciding because you don't want to regret it. Okay, so if I don't decide that, I'm not going to regret it in a minute because I literally haven't made a decision. Or maybe you just feel mentally noisy and you can't hear yourself. I don't know. I don't know what decision to make. Yeah. If that's you, it doesn't mean you can't trust yourself. That is not what it means at all. It means you just need to have a different approach to things. Yeah, be kind to yourself, have a different approach. So let's look at what we can do then. So the first thing that you can do is to reduce the number of decisions right now. Okay, you can do this right this second. Whilst you're watching on here, you can reduce the decisions. So before you try to trust yourself more, let's reduce that load. Pick one small area to really simplify for next week. Okay, so let's take the decision making process out of some things. So maybe each day next week you could eat the same breakfast. Yeah, does it matter? Same thing every day. Maybe you could sort out two or three outfits and wear those all week. Yeah, swap round tops, swap round bottoms, swap round shoes. Just use the same clothing all the week. Yeah, maybe if you need to swap, change tops, fine. But it just keep it simple. Yeah, what do I want to wear with these? Let's sort it out at the beginning of the week. What about a default routine? So if there is something that you do every day, so let's see, each day there is a certain thing that you need to do in the morning. Let's set that as a default. These are the things that I do every day. This is when I'm going to do them. I don't need to make any decisions around that. Stop deciding things that you've already decided. Okay, this is a big one. Okay, stop deciding the things that you've already decided. You've made the decision, it's fine. Let's go forward with that. You don't need to rethink it. This, any of these or all of these things will just free up some more mental energy for you. It just makes it easier to hear your own inner signal again. So the key here is you don't need more options. You need more capacity. Okay, so when I put the options to one side, you just need more capacity to be able to decide. So what's the second thing that you can do to help yourself? Separate those big decisions from the small decisions. You know, a lot of people treat every decision in life as if it's a matter of like life and death. Even those little tiny things that we have to decide, nearly every day or at least once a week, there are decisions that they're just small. So here's a grounded filter for this. Small decisions are reversible. Okay, they are low impact. They are the things that if you make the wrong decision, hey ho, you can change it. Yeah, you can alter if you make the decision and that I'm going to make pasta for tea tonight, and then everybody else in the family sits and oh, pasta again. It's like the decision was made. If somebody else wants to make the decision, or I will make a different decision for tomorrow, but today you live with it, okay? Big decisions are harder to reverse and have the bigger consequences. Okay, so that's what happens with a small decision. The bigger decisions are going to have bigger consequences, aren't they? Yeah, so that's how you know the difference. Big decisions, if it's a small decision, practice choosing quickly. Okay, so it's like, oh, I need to make this decision of, let me just think, let's go with the food again. It's all about food today. I need to make a decision, right? Am I going to do this recipe or this recipe? Okay, it's going to be that one. I can always do that one tomorrow. And then that's just the decision made for tomorrow as well. So, practice that. It's a snap decision. And then the more that you practice that snap decision making, the easier it will be to make those little short decisions. And they are fine, and you will trust yourself to make those. Give yourself a timer. So let's have 60 seconds and I'm going to choose, and that's it. I'm done. I'm releasing that. It is no longer in my mind. I don't need to play that over and over again. The decision is done. This helps you to build self-trust through repetition. It's the same as anything, as human beings, we love repetition. And this is the reason, because it simplifies our life. Okay, so there are definitely things that we need to do on repetition. Big decisions, you don't need to put yourself under more pressure. you need a calmer process. Okay. It's not, oh, I don't know what to make. And I've got to make the decision and I've got to make it now. And oh, I don't know. What if it's this? What if that goes wrong? What if this is? So it's about calming yourself. Okay. And then your body will give you the decision to make. Yeah. So get yourself into a calm space. And by doing those last steps, that's how it helps. So let's look at how we can do those then when we've calmed our body down. So the next step then is how, letting your body say yes or no to things. So here's a really simple way to bring the body in. There are all sorts of ways you can do through muscle testing with crystals, but this is just a simple way to tune into your body and just see if something is right or wrong. So the first thing is your mind will argue forever. Yeah, it will argue forever if you let it. And so often when we've made the decision, we were like, well, I don't know why I stressed about that for so long because it's fine. And and 6 months' time, will it have been a big problem? And in 6 months' time, it may have been absolutely the right decision. It might be that you did that for a little time and then you had to change it. But, is it life or death? And this is the question. But let's look at that simple way for your body. So here's a simple way because the mind will argue forever. So let's have a couple of options. So we'll have option A. Option A, and just close your eyes, tune into your body, and say, right, option A is a yes for me. And just notice what happens in your body. And then option A is a no for me. And notice what happens in your body. Okay, so it can feel lighter. You can feel an activations around things. You can feel some stirring of excitement. It can feel really heavy. So which one of those is it? And when you tune into your body and listen to your body, it will tell you. And then for option B, do the same thing again. And how does it feel? And then you know. So, what are you looking for? You're not looking for absolute fireworks. You are not looking for, "Poof, that is the right decision. Wow." You're just looking for those subtle cues. So, expansion or tightness, ease or heaviness, softening or bracing, calm or agitation. Yeah, just listen to your body. And if you feel absolutely nothing, that is also information. It might mean that you're tired, it might mean you're more grounded, or it might mean it's not the right time to do this. Yeah, because your body is letting you know something. Right, so the next step then, the next thing you can do is to ask a better question, a clarity question. Okay, so when you're a bit stuck, your mind asks, what's the right decision? So instead of asking that, let's try something different instead. What's the next kind, grounded step I can take? Even if that's not the final answer for me. Okay, so examples of this might be I'll gather more information and then decide on Friday. I'll choose the option that reduces the stress this week. I'll pick the decision that supports my body, not my ego. I'll choose the path that gives me more space around me. This gets you moving without the need for perfection. So you've released that egoic mind that says, oh, it has to be perfect. You have to make the right decision. If not, it's going to be, oh my gosh, it's going to be so dreadful. The next step then is make the decision safer to live with. So reduce the regret around it. So a big reason we don't trust ourselves is the fear of regret. I mean, you know it is, isn't it? We've all been there. It's like, oh, what if I really regret this later? So make this decision safer. Set that review date that we talked about. I'd make the decision on Friday, but you could say, I'm going to set a review date. I'm going to reassess this in 30 days. Choose an experiment. Okay, I'll try this for 2 weeks and see what I think, and maybe try the other way afterwards and see what I think, which is the right one. What about creating a boundary? I'll do it, but not at the cost of my health, which is a really good boundary to have. Yeah, so often we don't set our boundaries very well. So, yes, I'm fine to do that, but if it's going to be a problem to my health, no. Decide what success looks like in very simple terms. So, if this is the right decision, how is that going to look as we move forward? Okay, because that way, if you have made the wrong decision, you can reverse it. Okay? Self-trust grows when your nervous system learns from you. So you absolutely will trust yourself far more when you start making the decisions, and then either they're the right ones or they are reversible, and you are letting your body know that that is okay. So it's like, I can choose this and I can just adjust it. Yeah. So if you're in decision fatigue, clarity often comes after you've regulated your body, not before, definitely not before, because the more stress we're in, we are just creating more stress, and our body just doesn't want to make a decision because it's like, well, I can't, it's too much for me. I can't make the decision now. So if you can, try to do one grounding thing today. Take a walk maybe, especially if you have somewhere in nature around you, a park, a wood, the sea, somewhere that is in nature rather than amongst buildings. But even that is outside and in the air. Um, Water is a great one. So if you are by the sea and you can walk by the water, that's lovely. But what about just taking a shower? Let the water wash through you. A slower evening, just allow yourself, just take the night off. Like, I don't need to make any decisions tonight. Everything will wait until tomorrow. Nothing is going to do. Calm yourself, calm your body. And generally speaking, what happens is the answer comes in. Yeah, because we've allowed ourselves to put it to one side and we've just allowed our bodies to calm. And then all of a sudden the answer pops into your head. But if it doesn't, that's fine. We've just found the space and we can relax away from it. Fewer inputs as well. Don't go scrolling round through the internet. Don't go watching YouTube videos, particularly the shorts, because the attention span, you flip from one to another. So that does not allow your brain to rest. Okay, so if you do want to watch YouTube, particularly me, of course, if you do want to watch some YouTube videos or something like that, the longer form ones are better for you than the very short ones. Um, You could also ask yourself a question and set an intention. And that's a great idea. So, if you're going out for a walk, if you're having the shower, as I said about slowing down in the evening, if you set your intention before, I'm gonna slow down, I'm gonna put this to one side. But maybe I could just, maybe during this time, the answer will come in for me. And just, I'd like to know X, Y, and Z. So set that intention. Intentions are great things. And the great thing is, when we ask the universe a question, it answers. Doesn't mean that you're going to hear it if you're in high stress, but it will answer you. Your inner signal gets louder when your system gets quieter. Yeah, because it's not that they're not answering you, it's just that you're not hearing it. And as I always say at this time, if you would like a supportive space to practice that grounding self-trust with guided journeys, gentle activations, time to integrate the multidimensional circle that Patrice and I run together is a fantastic place to come into. It's a monthly live gathering, plus you get the replay and a library of other past live events and a library of other things that you can do to support yourself in other ways. So, as ever, we would love to see you in there if that resonates with you. I will pop the details below. And in the meantime, I am Leslie from leslieburton.com. It means the world to me if you like, subscribe, if you've enjoyed this video. It just helps me to get out there to those other people. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you again next week.